We're going to be learning about how to filter, search, and sort our web pages. And in order to use those techniques, we have to use arrays or objects. And so we're going to do a review of array processing and objects. And when we cover array processing, we're actually going to be looking at methods that are built into JavaScript that we haven't looked at before. And the MTA does cover arrays, and in particular, sorting and searching, which we're going to talk about today, the push and pop method, shift and unshift, the length property, how to access elements, and there could be a question on multidimensional arrays. So we are going to talk about all of that today. And we're going to start with array and array processing. There's basically two ways you can create them. You can use what's called array literal notation, and you can use array object notation. The difference is with object notation, you are using the keyword new, and with literal notation, you don't use the keyword new. You basically use brackets, and it assumes that it's an array because you're using the brackets. So if you're going to use the literal notation, which is considered best practice, you basically have a variable, you give it a name, you set it equal to brackets, and inside the brackets, you have the values that are going to populate your array. And JavaScript is a little different than other languages because you can easily add to the end of the array. So you don't have to worry about a size or anything like that. You can add items onto the array. You can remove items from the array. It's basically got a flexible length. Once you have values in an array, if you want to access data, you have to subscript in. And each piece of data in the array is called an element. Okay, so we've got element 0 is the first one, element 1, 2, 3, 4 in this little example. And the way you access the data is you subscript. So to get to element 0, you would have to subscript in with a 0. Here's another example with test scores. So if I wanted to get to the very first score, I would subscript into the test scores array with a 0. If I wanted to change the value, all I have to do is subscript in and set it equal to whatever I want the new value to be. Another unique thing about JavaScript arrays is because JavaScript is loosely typed, the array can contain different data types. Each element can store something a little different. So you can have a number in one, you can have text in another, you can have Boolean, all in the same array.